So let us now have the theorems on secant segments, tangent segments, and external secant segments. So we already know what are secant and tangent lines this time, and it was already mentioned what are segments. So segments are portions of a line having endpoints. Now, let us have a continuation of the discussion of the theorems. So first up, we have theorem number 13. Kasi, pakibasa nga.
If two chords of a circle intersect, then the product of the measures of the segments of one chord is equal to the product of the measures of the segments of the other chord.
Okay. So basically, when we say theorem 13, so that it's easier for us to read it or to understand it, we are talking about these parts. So for example, in this figure, we have line segment DE. Say this is your line segment DE. And you also have line segment, oopsie. Okay, we also have, let me fix that, line segment AB. Okay, based from the drawing. Okay, so if line segment DC and line segment, I mean line segment DE and line segment AB intersect at point M, then we can say that AM times BM is equal to DM times EM. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung nahating parts, like this one, yung DM daw, pag tinimes ko siya dito sa ME, equal siya kapag minultiply ko yung AB or AM, sorry, and MB. So, we just have to follow what is written here. Okay? So, yung dalawang parts na nahati, ito yung buo, DE yung buo. Pero dahil kinat siya, nag-mix sila ng line segment AB, nahati siya into two. Ganun din naman yung line segment AB. So, para daw maintindihan natin yung theorem 13, yung dalawang parts na nabuo dun sa line segment DE, pag minultiply daw natin, equal siya dun sa dalawang parts na na-form ng line segment AB. So hence we have this one. Now for you to understand this better, let us have an example. Okay, so it says here, we are to find the measure of UW. So we are to get the measure of line segment UW. So this one, so this is U, then this is W. Now basically, one part of UW, which is UC, this one, is already 12. And the other part from C going to W or CW is 2x plus 5. Okay? So if we are going to multiply 12 and 2x plus 5, so 12 and multiply it by 2x plus 5, that is also equal with or equal to TC, once we multiply TC, which is 14, and CB, which is 2x plus 2. So, pwede kong isulat dito na 14 times 2x plus 2. So, if you multiply them, the left side, then multiply the right side, you just have to simplify it further in order for you to get x. So, let's see the solution. Okay, ito yung magiging solution natin. Okay, so basically, pwede nating isulat dyan that CU, remember their point of intersection is C. CU multiplied to CW. Equal daw siya sa CT multiplied with CV. So it's the same as what I have written here. So once you substituted, parang yung sinulat ko lang, it's the same as this. So CU is 12, CW, follow nyo lang yung mga letters na, that's 2x plus 5, CT is 14, while CV is 2x plus 2. Next, you can use the distributive property. So how did we end up getting these answers? We distributed this. For example, 12 times 2x is 24x. 12 times 5, that's 60. Next, 14 times 2x, that's 28. 14 times 2, or I mean 14 times 2x, that's 28x. 14 times 2, that's 28. Then, your next step would be Sabi niya dito, add negative 24x and negative 28 on both sides. Pwede din naman na you transpose. Okay, similar terms. Paanong ibig sabihin? Okay, you have to put all numbers, yung numbers lang without variables on one side of the equation and the other, okay, on the other side of the equation, yung mga numbers with variables. So basically, so yung 28, we transposed it to the left side, so it became negative 28. And then yung positive 24, we transposed it to the right side, so it became negative 24. Then you simplify. So pag sinimplify natin, nak, 60 minus 28, that's 32. Then 28x minus 24x, that would be 4x. Now, since we only need x, we divide both sides by 4. So divide both sides by 4. This will be cancelled. That would be x. 32 divided by 4, it's 8. So 8 is equal to x or x is equal to 8. Are we done now? No, not yet. Bakit? Kasi ang tinatanong nak sa atin ay UW. Line segment UW. Now, line segment UW is equal to 12 plus 2x plus 5. Diba? UC is equal to 12. Then CW is 2x plus 5. So we have to add this in order for us to get UW. And since we already know what is the value of x, ang gagawin lang natin, we substitute. So the same was what we did here. So 12 plus 2 times 8 plus 5. Now applying the MDAS rule or MDAS, 2 times 8, that would be 16. Bring down 12, bring down 5. So 12 plus 16 plus 5, the answer is 33. Now since cm, inches, meters are not included or not given, so you just have to write the word units. So the answer here is 33 units. Do you have some questions so far, guys?
Salamat.
Gets naman. So basta yung idea dito na kapag merong dalawang lines, either a chord or a secant intersect inside the circle, okay, they intersect inside the circle, yung dalawang parts ng bawat chord dalawang parts ng bawat original chord, you multiply them. Then equate it to another two parts of the original chord so that you would get the measure. Please take a screenshot of it. Next, let's have theorem number 14. Lawrence, pakibasa na.
If two secant segments are drawn to a circle from an exterior point, then the product of the length of one secant segment and its external secant segment is equal to the product of the length of the other secant segment and its external secant segment.
Okay. Um, if you're just going to read it once, you might be confused in understanding theorem 14. Okay? Pero basically, yung pinaka-idea dito is that there are two secant segments. Okay, they are not lines kasi you can't see any double-headed arrow from the figure. There are two secant segments um, joining at the same exterior point. So kung dati, sa lesson natin last week, we are after the measurement of the angles outside formed outside the circle. This time, our main concern is the length of each segment. Now dito, based sa theorem number 14, I often tell my students this para mas madali siya maintindihan. 'Di ba sabi niya dito, theorem 14, ito yung summary niya. AR times IR. This is AR, yung buo. That's the whole secant segment. At saka IR. IR is the exterior part of the secant segment. Next, pag daw minultiply natin yon, equal daw siya saan? Sa NR. NR is the whole secant segment. Times daw natin sa ER, that would be the exterior na naman. So this is what I tell my students. Ganito na lang ang tandaan nyo. If the intersection of the two secant segments are outside the circle, ang gawin nyo na lang ganito. This would be whole times the exterior is equal to whole times the exterior. Okay? So, it's entirely different with what we did with Theorem 13. So, para mas maintindihan natin yung Theorem 14, ganito na lang. It's whole, that's AR, times exterior, that's IR. Whole, that's NR, times interior, or sorry, times exterior, that would be ER. So, let's have an example so that you would understand it better. Ayan. Sabi niya, how long is line segment NL? So, which one is NL? So, this is N, this is L. So, we are talking about the whole thing. Okay, that's NL. Now, we already have ML. ML or LM. Ito, magsimula sa M, papunta dito sa L. What is the measurement of this? This 4. Now, we still need this. Ang measurement daw nito, it's x minus 8. So, we need to find the value of x so that we can subtract it to 8 or we can subtract 8 from it and then i-add natin siya dun sa 4. So, we would know gaano ba talaga kahaba yung NL natin. Okay? So, basically, kung susundan natin yung sinabi ko kanina na whole times exterior is equal to whole times exterior, ganito yung gagawin natin. Ano ba yung whole? Yung whole natin ay NL, right? Ano yung exterior ng NL? Class. Would you like to share your idea? Kung ang whole ay NL, ano kaya yung exterior part niya? Would you like to try, Jerlyn? Exterior means nasa labas. Meron pa ba akong kausap?
Forma.
Yung 4, anong pangalan nun? Nung may measurement na 4. Line segment what? Anong letter sila?
NL, ma'am.
Okay. So, whole is NL, yung exterior niya is ML. Okay? Remember, pwedeng magpalit ng positions yung mga letters na to, ha? So, pwede siyang LN, pwede siyang maging LM. Next. O yung counterpart naman. Anong pangalan ng whole na to? Line segment what? Anyone? Anong pangalan nito? What letters are involved?
LS.
LS. Okay. Pwedeng SL, pwedeng LS. O, sabi kanina ni Shana, LS. Ano yung exterior ng LS? Yung nasa labas na ng
3.
circle. Anong pangalan nung may measurement na 3?
LS. KL, ma'am. SL.
KL o kaya LK. O, sige. 'Di ba yung buo is SL? The exterior is KL or LK. O, gawin nating LK. Yan. So, kinuha natin yung buo, mumultiply natin sa exterior niya. Kinuha natin yung buo, which is the whole SL, mumultiply natin siya dun sa exterior niya. So, look at the solution na. Okay. So, yung sinabi nyo kanina, NL times ML, it was replaced by LM, which is the same. Sabi nyo kanina, SL or LS. Ito yon. LS, SL, then LK. Pareho din siya sa KL. Okay? So, because of Theorem 14, sabi niya, whole times exterior is equal to whole times exterior. Substitute niyan natin. Ayan siya. Okay. Ma'am, saan po galing yung x minus 8 plus 4? Yung x minus 8 plus 4, siya yung NL. Di ba NL is this? Pag simula dito, hanggang dito. Dadaanan niyo yung x minus 8 tsaka 4. So, i-add natin sila. Ano yung LM? LM is 4 only. Ito siya. Next. Ano naman yung SL? SL yung malaki na part, yung buo. So, dadaanan niyo yung x minus 5 tsaka yung 3. Kaya pinag-add siya. X minus 5 plus 3. What about the KL. KL is outside the circle. So that's 3. Ito yon. Okay? So what will happen next? I-simplify natin. Okay? So paano nangyari itong x minus 4? Yung negative 8 at saka yung positive 4, pinag-combine. Different sign subtract, copy the sign of the bigger number. Bring down 4. Ito naman, bakit siya naging x minus 2? So negative 5 plus 3. Different sign subtract, copy the sign of the bigger number. Then bring down 3. Yung next na magiging process natin would be the same as what we did in the previous slides. We distribute. So, anong nangyari? Yung 4, minultiply sa x. So, it became 4x. 4 times negative 4, that's negative 16. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 2, that's negative 6. And then, sabi niya dito, add negative 3 and positive 16 on both sides. O kaya, gawin nyo na lang transpose para mabilis. So, gagawin mo lang, yung positive 3x, nilipat sa kabila, naging negative 3x. Negative 16, inilipat sa kabila, it became positive 16. So, simplify natin. 4x minus 3x is x. Negative 6 plus 6, different sign subtract, copy the sign of the bigger number. The answer is 10. So, x is equal to 10. Are we done now? Hindi pa rin. Bakit? Kasi NL is x minus 8 plus 4. So, kailangan muna nating malaman yung x, which is 10. So, gagawin ko, 10 minus 8 plus 4. So, let's see. Okay, so it's written here, x minus 8 plus 4 is equal to 10 minus 8 plus 4. The answer, it's 6. So, since wala namang cm, walang inches, walang meters, therefore, that is equal to 6 units. Any question so far? Nagigets naman?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're just applying theorem number 14. Now, let's proceed to the last theorem. Okay, dun tayo sa last theorem. Okay, pakibasa nga ito. Shana.
If a tangent segment and a secant segment are drawn to a circle from an exterior point, then the square of the length of the tangent segment is equal to the product of the length of the secant segment and its external secant segment.
Okay. So, kung babasahin yung Theorem 15, you need to read it twice or thrice in order for you to understand it. Pero, since I gave you a shortcut for Theorem 14, meron din naman when it comes to Theorem 15. Ito lang yon. 'Di ba? We are talking about a tangent and a secant, okay, intersecting outside the circle. So, in this particular figure, they intersect at point O. So, basically, ang isang tangent, wala siyang part inside the circle. Palagi siyang outer, external lahat siya. Okay? Um, Exterior lahat. So, anong gagawin? Wala siyang whole times exterior. Exterior lang siya. So, ang gagawin mo lang, yung tangent, i-squared mo lang siya. Is equal to what? Yung partner niya na secant. That is whole times exterior. And that's it. Kung sa Theorem 14, dahil dalawang secant sila, whole times exterior equals whole times exterior. Dito sa Theorem 15, dahil isa lang ang secant and the other one is a tangent, ang gagawin mo lang, tangent squared is equal to whole times exterior. Now, you might be wondering, ma'am, bakit po ini-squared nyo? Gagawin mo lang, tangent times tangent or times itself. So, instead of me writing tangent times tangent, edit tangent squared na lang. Okay? That's why here, it's written CO squared is equal to OY, that would be the whole secant segment, tsaka ON. So, ON is the exterior. So, let's have an example here. Sabi niya, how long is OS? OS is the tangent and it so happened that it is X. So, para malaman natin, so we will apply tangent squared is equal to whole times exterior. Okay? So, ano bang pangalan ng tangent natin, class? What is the name of the tangent in the figure? Can you tell me? Cassie? What is the name? Line segment what?
OS po.
Okay. So, we have the tangent is line segment OS. Next, what is the name of the whole secant segment? Yung whole.
OR po.
Okay, very good. OR. What about the exterior? How about the
OA.
others?
O.
AR,
Ayun,
ma'am.
okay? So, exterior, ibig sabihin nasa labas. So, instead of AR, it should be OA. Okay, ito yon. Exterior means nasa labas. Okay? So, based from what your classmate mentioned, OS, that would be our tangent, E squared lang natin yan. Then, the whole secant is OR, i-multiply natin sa exterior niya, which is OA. Look at the solution. Okay, OA became AO. So again, you can interchange the position of the two letters. Okay, ang OS natin is X. Okay, ang OS natin is X, so that would be X squared. Ang OR natin na is 9 plus 16. Remember, we are talking about the whole secant segment. So ibig sabihin, you're not just going to get 16 nor 9 alone, but both of them. So, ginawa natin 9 plus 16. Ano yung OA? OA is 9. That's why we have written 9 separately. Inulit natin siya. So, what will you do next? Solve natin. Ganyan. Paano po naging 225? So, ginawa natin yung 9 plus 16, inad muna natin. 9 plus 16, that would be 25. Multiply natin sa 9. Okay? Multiply natin sa 9, the answer is 225. Now, to get x, kasi OS is x, not x squared, get the square root of both. So, the answer, okay, x is equal to 15. And since x is 15, we can now say that OS is also 15. And don't forget the word units. Okay? Clear ba?
Yes,
Do you have
ma'am.
some questions? Okay. So, for this particular session, yung next na slide natin, I'll be showing you what will you answer on your module 5. So referring to your self-learning module, you will only answer the following, but you have to show your solution. Okay? Kindly take a screenshot of this.